Hi, Adam Jones. It's so ridiculous. Treehouse Bonsai. Anyway, so today I'm at Mansei-en, where I studied, right? The garden that I studied in Omiya, and I come back here, like, let's say like 3 or 4 days in a row, maybe twice a month, right? Because I think it's important to maintain the relationship between myself and the garden where I studied and the people that work here, right? The current students, and most importantly, the gentleman Takehiro Kato, who runs the garden, right? 5th generation owner of Mansei-en. Having him in my corner is an extremely important thing to do, and so if I can come back here and help out, then I think that that's a really important thing to do. So that's what I'm doing right now. This is my second day. I came here yesterday. I've been working on restyling stuff. That's typically what I do when I'm here, is I work on you know, freshening up, putting wire on things and that kind of stuff. Okay, so here it is. It is a black pine. I guess theoretically we're gonna call this a Bunjin black pine. One of the things we want to work on with this tree right now today is thinning out the branches and making it look less like a lollipop than it looks right now. So what I'll do as I work through this, right, we'll go in and we'll do some branch selection, and we'll get rid of some of these old yellow needles and rewire it, restyle it, and make it more of a elegant Bunjin than it stands right now. Okay, so next to me is the black pine that I've been working on today, and as you can see, it's quite drastically different than it was this morning. I guess I started this tree around noon, so this afternoon this tree was a big lollipop looking thing. You couldn't see any of the ramification or any of the branch movement, but it's a Bunjin, right? It's a literati, and the whole point of that is to have elegant feminine lines. And even though the species is a black pine and kind of traditionally considered a more masculine tree, we can still have a feminine-esque black pine Bunjin, right? And the quality of this tree's bark actually lends itself quite well to being a Bunjin. Some black pines, you might see that like the bark on them plates up really thick, right? Like wide, big plates. And this particular tree's bark is not so, the plates on it aren't so large, so it's almost more like a white pine or like a red pine kind of combo. I mean, it's black pine, but the quality of any given tree is different than others. And this particular tree lends itself well to being in this style. and anyway, so inside of that, after we went and did a large amount of reduction in the branch systems, so essentially most of the primary branch systems that were coming out of the trunk have had one of its initial ramifications turned into jin. So there's this one and this one and this one and that one. To do that, that's the approach to try to make this thing a lot airier and less dense, right? And thinner lines, thinner pads. My personal preference probably would be to continue to take, let's say another 4 or 5 branches off of this tree, right? But if I start to take more branches off of this tree, then the kind of desirable shape of the top of this tree for the Japanese market might begin to be compromised. And so I'm going to leave this tree as it sits now and call it done.